Manipulation. Why do we even have to talk about manipulation when it is something immoral? You, of course, like it contains a negative denotation because it is exploitative, immoral, etc., right? But just being for real, in reality, the world doesn't give a shit whether you would be manipulative or not. You either be naive or understand how manipulation works. It is simple as that. I'm not trying to encourage anyone to be quote unquote manipulator, but at least you need to know when you might be potentially in a situation where you others might use your compassion, your kindness against you without realizing. So just let's get to the point. When people talk to you or try to get something out of you, you might be good person, and think that of course, I'm gonna do it for you, etc. But I think it is just, better than not thinking about it at all to think that what is their ulterior motive, since you would never know their true intention even if you ask them or they identify as an honest person, but it is still not reliable. It makes you one step ahead of the other person, so you wouldn't be fallen into a trap of them. Of course, if they have good intention, maybe they want to hang out with you, or maybe they just want to interact with you. I mean, it might be good, but you need to try to categorize patterns. See that, okay, just for instance, I'm not telling you that, you know if people are like this, it's gonna be like this always, but I'm just telling you, okay. For instance, if you see someone, who always posts, a picture of him or herself being shirtless, bikini whatsoever, and hanging out with friends. So what can you tell by just looking at those pictures? First and foremost, that person might be social, and second of all, that person might have some insecurity whatsoever. And when you are good at recognizing patterns, it helps you to understand these people's behavior better. So how does it help with manipulation, or at least trying to understand it better? Well, when you see their pattern, or their identity, or you can say that you are speculating their personality. It doesn't have to always be right, but at least you have some fundamental information about them, and you can affirm it later on when you interact with them, or if anything happens between you two. It doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship, by the way. It could be your boss, your colleague, whatsoever, who you usually on daily basis associate with. Then when you understand their personality, their behavior, you kind of can tell, what they're going to do, or what they might have asked you, or what their morality could potentially be. consequently you would see like through the deception when, for example, right, if this person, maybe like you have been like friends with this person for like 6 months, but this person might have never asked you, to go hanging out together, not even once, but somehow today this person just happened to ask you out, just like hanging out, as like a friend. Assume, that person is the same gender as you, so it wouldn't fall to their dating context. So you first gotta think that, okay, I know this person for a while. This person like has never like, asked me to hang out with even once. You gotta think that there might be something wrong, or this person might have planned something. Think like ahead, think about many like uh possibility, or like, some scenarios in your head. At least you can handle it like better when, some of your scenarios happen. So I mean, in a way, I think it is good for you when you know what is going to happen. Since most people, they are predictable, you understand them, but you gotta be royally analytical and observable, even though just some like trivial like details about that person, even though you doesn't give a shit about that person at all, but knowing it better than like not knowing about that person at all, since one day it might be useful to you. So if you constantly associate with, some people, it's better for you to like know some information about them. Just try to analyze it so that they cannot like exploit you, or like betray you. Because seriously, when you were too like naive and like kind, you always like help people out, you don't ask for anything in return, it is good, right? But there would be so many times that people, they just don't care about your generosity or like kindness. They know that you are easily manipulated, so they're just gonna use you as long as possible, and then you are just a victim, thinking that they are your true friends, or like, your soulmate, or they actually care about you. That's why they maintain a relationship with you. In a way, you can see that your relationship is destined to be doomed in any time soon. So you wouldn't want to be a victim of manipulation. So you better like try to like be more observable and understand people like based on like their patterns. For example, if these people often go to clubs, you might assume that, they might have mm, how should I put this into like words? Okay, their morality might not be pure. So you can assume that these people like have a tendency to, or like more likely to exploit, or like, do something immoral to you. It doesn't have to be like uh physical like assault, just anything. So just be more aware and say no whenever you have a chance. Don't be too kind, because if they're actually like your true friends, or actually like care about you, they're going to be fine with rejection. But if they just like get mad at you, then man, just let them go. Seriously. So I think that is pretty much overall. I don't want to make it too long. Just see through like deceptive and manipulation, or you might be the victim yourself. That is like how it works nowadays. You are either being exploited or understand how exploitation and manipulation work, so at least you can defend yourself. That is pretty much overall. So thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video.